My name is Erica, and I'm one of the mountaineers featured in American Ascent, which is a documentary film about the first all-African American team that attempted to summit Denali, the tallest mountain in North America. I was involved with the organization that got together the expedition team. It's a nonprofit called the National Outdoor Leadership School. At the time, they were organizing the Expedition Denali team. They had come up with this idea to organize the first African American team on the centennial of the first ascent of Denali. And it was an initiative to encourage folks of color to get outdoors. And they offered me a chance to be a part of that team, and so I jumped on it. They just wanted to make the outdoor field or the outdoor industry more inclusive, and they wanted to create Black role models for people of color who might want to get engaged in the outdoors or involved in the outdoors, who don't really see their faces represented when you think of mountaineers. Not including the instructors, there were 9 of us, and we are scattered across the United States. Some of us are in New York, some of us are in Seattle, in Cali. I had never climbed with any members of the team. I was one of the newer members on the team. Their backgrounds in terms of careers and ages, it's a really diverse team. We might all be African Americans, but the youngest person on the team was 19, the oldest person was in their 50s. I think when it comes down to it, when you're on the mountain, you realize that it's all about pulling your own weight, and women are just as capable of doing that as anyone else. Being one of the 3 women on our 9-person team, if folks of color are underrepresented in mountaineering, women of color are especially underrepresented, so that was empowering to feel strong and to feel like one of the few women of color that were on the mountain. Having the crew document our expedition didn't make that much of a difference to me because they were going through the same exact things that we were going through, and probably even worse, because not only were they hauling the equipment that they needed in order to summit the mountain, but they were also hauling all the equipment they needed to, film and document that experience. They're really amazing. After a while, you don't really care about the cameras being there. I think our focus was a little bigger than that. I first became interested in the outdoors later on in life. I was born and raised in New York City, and I had never done any sort of camping or anything like that before. Being at that altitude is really challenging on your lungs, really challenging on your body. All of the things that you need to survive on a mountain, you're carrying on your back or on a sled. There are some dangers. I think people were trying to brace themselves for anything, and just to push ourselves to our limits physically, emotionally. Living on glacier in the cold for 3 weeks is really challenging, and some days you feel stronger than other days. I think the film did a really good job capturing all of those emotions. One of the most challenging experiences for me on the mountain didn't happen until actually towards the end of the expedition. We got caught in a lightning storm. The way that lightning can become even more dangerous than it already is when you're high up, because lightning favors height. While we're at the highest point that we have been yet, we get caught in this lightning storm, and it was this moment of panic from not only our team, but everyone on the mountain recognized it as a very dangerous situation to be in. That was a pretty scary moment for me, because there was really nothing that we could do. It was pretty humbling. Mountaineering is like a 50% like endurance and strength and technical skill game, and then the other 50% is whether or not the mountain and the conditions allow you to summit. And so that was one of the moments where I was like, the mountain is telling us no right now. I think awe would be the best adjective or word I would use to describe how I felt throughout the first week. A sense of amazement, but also fear. I was in one of the most rural places in the world. There was a sense of camaraderie between everyone who was attempting to summit this amazing peak. I definitely was physically pushed to my limits, but I felt a sense of determination because the project was, bigger than me and my emotions. We were trying to be role models for people of color, and I felt a lot of support from other people who were coming and asking us about the project, people from all around the world who were trying to summit Denali. So I think there were highs and lows, but overall, a really positive experience. It's important for people of color to get in the outdoors because it can be a really positive and fulfilling experience for people, and because it's hard to want to protect something that you're not connected to, that you haven't experienced, whether it's parks that are metro accessible or whether it's climbing Denali. Whatever personal relationship it is that you want to develop with the outdoors, it will be essential to protecting our natural environments.